Hi there, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I will be going over my top 10 favorite Pokemon with you guys. This is a video I've seen a whole lot of other YouTubers do, and I thought it'd be interesting because I feel like your top 10 kind of changes over time, and so it'd be good for me to do this and then maybe do another video in the future and compare like what's changed and what hasn't. Um, it's my birthday coming up. Actually, before I get into the video, I might as well let you guys know. My birthday's going to be on the 22nd. Even though COVID's going on, I am flying home for a couple weeks for my birthday, so my upload schedule might be kind of weird. But also that might mean that you see more videos of me with my family members and things like that. So it should be still exciting, probably some new content, but my post schedule might be kind of weird for the next couple of days. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so with all that being said, before I take off, I'm going to do my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time for you guys in this video. So if you're interested in that, just keep on watching. Okay, so before we begin with the top 10, I just want to do like a couple honorable mentions. I know this is cheating, I'm sorry, but there is a lot of Pokemon that I thought were really, really cool. When I did this, I didn't just write down the first ones that came to mind. I actually used the AI website, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. But I used the AI website I used for my siblings' videos I made for them. If you're new and you haven't seen them, I made some videos dedicated to my siblings for their birthdays, where they uses AI to create their top team of 6, and then I psychoanalyze them to see what their team meant for them. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that. They're all over the rest of this channel. I did that for my mom too, I think, but my siblings were definitely more in depth. So if you haven't seen those, check those out. But anyway, so I used the same AI system to calculate my top 10. And I just want to throw up honorable mentions real quick. So some of the Pokemon that didn't make the top 10 list, but I really, really like and I wanted to kind of highlight in this video are Kutiefly, obviously the mascot of this channel, Snorlax, and Musharna. So these might be kind of weird. I think a lot of people like Snorlax in general. I think Snorlax is a really popular Pokemon for obvious reasons. It's a staple in the show, and it's a really bulky normal type and things like that. It's really cute and fat. But Musharna might throw some of you guys for a loop. And actually, I didn't really like Musharna until I used it for actually my Sword and Shield playthrough. I was disappointed with using the Hatterene line or whatever for my Psychic type, and I tried Galarian Rapidash too, and I don't know, I just didn't like using it. So in the very, very end of the post game, I picked up a Musharna, and I actually loved it. It was really fun to use, and I really didn't use this Pokemon because I kind of thought it looked like a creepy like fetus kind of thing, and I'm not sure if that's the design inspiration or what, but I put it off. But actually, after using it in Galar, I actually grew to really, really like it. So that's why it's higher up, but not in my top 10. Kutiefly is a similar situation where I used it for a playthrough in Sun and Moon, actually, my first playthrough, and I absolutely loved it. But it just, I don't know, for whatever reason, didn't make this top 10 based on things I picked. But it could have been there another time. But anyway, so let's get into the actual top 10. So number 10 on this list is actually going to be Inkay. I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of talk about this Pokemon. I think it's absolutely adorable. I like it a lot better than Malamar, just because Malamar in itself is a really cool design and inspiration, and it looks really evil and like it is what it is, and it's really good, and it's like an edgy Pokemon, but that's just not my speed. Inkay's adorable. It floats around. It's this weird like little squid thing, and I just love the concept of its evolution, having to turn like the DS all the way upside down. It's really unique. James had one in the anime. James is one of my favorite Pokemon characters, and I just kind of love everything that is in Inkay. It's absolutely adorable, so that's why it's number 10 on my list. Number 9 is actually a Pokemon that I've liked for a very long time, and I actually have a doll of that I got when I was a lot younger, probably in middle school or whatever. But it's actually going to be Flygon from the Hoenn region. Hoenn is hands down my favorite region, and I remember seeing Flygon for the first time and thinking it was the coolest thing under the sun. So part of it's still nostalgic, but I just love the design. I love how buggy it looks without being scary looking. I tend to like ground types, and I never really realized that until making these sort of lists of how much I really do like ground types. But I thought it was really cool. And I like the animal inspiration from it and everything like that. So that's why Flygon is number 9. Number 8 is going to be my spirit Pokemon, and I brought it up on this channel so many times, and I have a lot of dolls of it, and I think it's a pretty big fan favorite too. But number 8 is Lapras. There's no real explanation necessary for this. Um, it is my spirit Pokemon. If it's very maternal, family oriented, water and ice. I am a water sign based on my zodiac. And it is just kind of like, it's like transport Pokemon is the ride Pokemon, but it's also based off like Loch Ness and whatever dinosaur this is. I'm going to pop it up on screen because I don't know the names of these dinosaurs. But it's just like, I don't know, it was in the show, it was like a baby Pokemon, and then it grew into like a motherly figure. It's just really sweet, and that's everything about it. So that's why Lapras is number 8 for me. Okay, so number 7 is actually going to be Kuparaja. Now, I love this design, don't get me wrong. I really love everything about it, but I feel like after I made this list, I looked at it, I used it in my playthrough, it was easily hands down one of my best Pokemon I used. I normally don't like steel types, so this was a real plus for me. But I remember making a list like this a couple years ago when Sun and Moon came out, and I put Mudsdale on it too because at the time I really liked Mudsdale, stable member of the team, wonderful design, not knocking it either. But I just feel like in the future, if I make this list again, Kuparaja might not be as high, or it might get replaced with something else the same way Mudsdale did. Not knocking this Pokemon, it's wonderful, and it obviously made my top 10 over some Pokemon that I've liked for a very long time. But that's just how I feel right now. Yeah, it's number 7. Okay, number 6 is my boy Appleton. My Appleton is actually called Applecoon. I've talked about him a lot. I think he's in my top 10 Galar video too, and I think Kuparaja is in that top 10 Galar video too. But it's a lot of people like hate on this design, or they prefer the skinny one, but I love it. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm one of those people that like battling stuff kind of comes secondary to me. I like the overall aesthetic more than I necessarily do like the practical use of the Pokemon, and it's the same this. I don't know why, it just reminded me of one of my fat dogs. Like I think it's adorable. I like the typing, I like the lore behind it, I like how you make it evolve and you try to help somebody else with their lady problems. I think that's cute. And Appleton, again, was always going to be on that team. It's probably one of my favorite grass types, and even though I kind of talk mess about Kuparaja being like just like a topical thing because of Sword and Shield just being out, I really hope Appleton kind of stays. But yeah, right now it's probably my favorite grass type, and that's why it's number 6 on this list. Okay, so number 5 is actually going to be Mamoswine. Yes, more ground types. I did not realize how many ground types I actually liked. But Mamoswine is always, I've never really used it before, and it's weird that it's in my top 10 and I've never used it, but I just love the overall design of Mamoswine. I've had Swinub, I've had the middle stage evolution, but I've never had the final stage, and all I think about when I see this is just riding into battle. Like, it's huge, it's a mammoth Pokemon, it's an ice type. I don't know, I really like the pig inspiration without making it a full-on pig. I think it's a good balance, and I know in the anime it made a big appearance with Dawn too, and I think I still watched the show at that time. I don't know if I was too old for it or not. But I don't know, I just like it. Like, where I come from, it tends to be kind of cold. I live close to Chicago, so we get all the seasons and stuff, but most of the time people refer to it as like the Windy City, or like when the winters are really, really cold. And now I live in Boston, so the winters are super, super cold here too. But I don't know, something about that kind of gets me excited of being like a winter princess and riding a Mamoswine into battle. I don't know. I like the design inspiration a lot, and that is why it is number 5 on my list. Okay, number 4. So this is getting to the good. These top 4 are probably going to be my top 4 forever. I think they're perfect. And I love them very, very much. And I think that, like, if I had to build a concrete team, it would probably be like reflected around these 4 at least. So my 4th position is going to be Dedenne. I know this is kind of like a cop out because I think a lot of women like Dedenne, but how can you not? It's really freaking cute. And this was Gen 6 when fairy types were first introduced, and it's hard for me because I like all fairy types. I really do, even though not a whole lot of them made this list. I really do like fairy types in general. And I just remember doing my first playthrough of this and having a Dedenne on my team and getting to the Elite Four and completely like just like one shot KOing so many different dragon types and dragon Pokemon with this tiny, tiny Dedenne that never evolved. Um, Electric Fairy, I like the typing a lot. I like the design. I'm normally not into Pikachu clones, although Raichu got pretty high on my list, but I'm just not really into that. I did like Ampharos for a while, and I like Fluffy. I like pink things that are fluffy. And I did use Ampharos another time during the playthrough because I like it too, but Dedenne totally just tops it when it comes to electric type Pokemon for me. Um, and I do have a Dedenne doll too. And if you want to see a video with all my dolls, there are more videos on this channel. And there is a video of me going through all my dolls in a collection. It's kind of old and the lighting's kind of because that was before I got my kind of setup I have now. But it's still pretty good if you want to check it out. But yeah, Dedenne is definitely number 4. Okay, number 3 is another Hoenn babe. It is Altaria. I know people talk mess about dragon types that don't look like dragon types, but I don't like any dragon types that actually look like dragons. I'm sorry, I don't. Gudra is probably the closest thing to looking like a dragon that I actually like. But Altaria, I love. I love Hoenn. I'm a Hoenn girl, and I have had a Altaria in every single playthrough I've done. Dragonfly is pretty good typing, but its Mega Evolution is just absolutely gorgeous and stunning. It is a giant star cloud of soft babiness, and I believe that changes its typing to Fairy and Dragon, which I think is just like an OP typing. I think that's really, really cool. It's a beautiful design. I wish I had a doll of it. I think it's just majestic and but still keeps that cuteness. And I know in the remake for Auras, they had an NPC with an Altaria for like the contest and stuff, and it's just a completely fitting Pokemon. Like when I try to think of beauty, I know a lot of people think of like Milotic and things like that, but for me it's Altaria. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so number 2 on my list. It's really hard. I think it's a really close tie between number 1 and number 2. But this one just shies out a little bit. Is Beware. I love Beware. I love Beware. I love it. I am somebody who collects Pokemon dolls and stuffed animals, and so when they made a Pokemon that's literally based off a giant stuffed animal, like how can you not? Stuffle is absolutely adorable. I love the tag and its cry. It's really cute and it's really baby. But Beware just takes the cake for me. I really like Pokemon that are like gentle giants, even though this one's not really a gentle giant. If you look up the Pokemon lore, it's kind of scary. It talks about like hugging their trainers to death because they're so strong, and that they really cute. They look really cute, but they're really kind of threatening, and they're one of the most like dangerous Pokemon out there. And they're really territorial, and they wave their arms around. They look goofy, but they're really strong, and like I love that it's a fighting normal type. I love everything about it. I used it in my Sun and Moon playthrough every single time, and I used it with Kutiefly, and I really like those two together. But Beware is hands down like my favorite out of Alola, period. And I think a lot of other people like it too. I think people were thrown off in the beginning with the first reveal, but once you see it in like its animation and I know it was pretty popular in the show too, with Team Rocket and stuff being like a comedic gag. But I just think Beware is perfect and adorable, and you know, it came this close to being my favorite, but one more Pokemon just won out. So my number 1 favorite Pokemon of all time is probably going to surprise you. It surprises me. um, but my number 1 favorite Pokemon is actually Quagsire. I love Quagsire so much. And I can't really explain to you why I like Quagsire so much. I know it's 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 Johto, and I remember I never really used it as a kid. I don't think so, because I had Totodile, or maybe I used it when I played through Cyndaquil, because I played Johto so many times I can't even tell you. But like, it's just so derpy and adorable, and the design's super simplistic. It looks like somebody kind of half-assed this, but like I just love this Pokemon so much. And you know, I read the Pokedex entry to be like, okay, well, why do I instinctively like this so much? And basically the Pokedex entries just talk about how stupid it is. Like it talks about how this thing is just sluggish and lazy and literally just lays in rivers and waits for food to come in. And there's instances of it swimming around in the water and hitting its head on rocks and boats and crap and just not caring and just being a derp. And I just love that. And like, I know I keep talking about my dogs, but I love my dogs so much. And so one of my dogs is actually he's overweight, but he's also blind. Like his tear ducts don't work anymore, so it's really hard for him to see, and he bangs his head into things all the time. And like, it's really sad. Sometimes it's funny, but for the most part, it's sad. And I don't know why. It's just he's just a derp, and I think instinctively I just like love that kind of derp. I think also too, Beware and Quagsire kind of have that same rounded shape that I like a lot. And I think the two of them, like I could not make a Pokemon team for myself without the two of them. Quagsire is a water type, and before fairy types became a thing, water types were my favorite. But it's also a ground type, and again, I'm just realizing how much I love ground types. That's so weird. But I love Quagsire to death. I know like it doesn't look the best in all these different 3D animations, and that's totally fair. But there's just something about it I like, and oh, I like it so much. Okay, so I also play Animal Crossing, and I'm thinking about doing a video where I show you guys my Animal Crossing island, but like that it's kind of outside the realm of this channel. But anyway, so in my Animal Crossing house, I actually have a portrait up of Quagsire that I found online, that I just kind of put up in my makeup room in Animal Crossing, and there's no other Pokemon portraits at all. It's just Quagsire, and it just makes me laugh. I don't know. I think I'm definitely the kind of person that like loves humor, and like I don't like it when people or things take themselves too seriously, and I think Quagsire just kind of embodies that. So maybe that's why I like it. I don't know. I also have a dress that I carry a Wooper in, and Wooper itself is adorable too, but Quagsire just kind of takes the cake for me, you know. And that's it. That is my top 10 list of my favorite Pokemon to date. This video, as of what day is it? As of June 2020, this is my top 10 favorite Pokemon list. I'm sure more will be revealed in the future, and I will come back and make another top 10 video based on the Pokemon that just come out, because Pokemon's one of those franchises that's just gonna stick around forever. At least I think so. But it's really cool. I thought about doing a cycle analysis on myself about my own team, but like I don't know who would want to see that really. B, I don't it's easier to do that kind of stuff for somebody else that you love very much, and for me I think it's harder to do that for yourself or to really be that introspective, so I'm not going to do it. But if you want to take some sort of signals into why I like the Pokemon I like or whatever, go ahead, that's fine with me. Leave a comment down below of what you think, why I like the things I like. Or, you know, comment down below too your top 10 favorite Pokemon, and we can compare our lists and see what we like. I mean, at the end of the day, every Pokemon's a good Pokemon, you know. I know people are very like passionate about certain designs over others, but at the end of the day, I like it, you know. Like if it's a Pokemon, it's a Pokemon, I like it. These just happen to be my favorite. So that being said, thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and comment down below all the stuff we just talked about. Feel free to like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I'm really close to hitting 100 subscribers, and it would be the best birthday present ever to have 100 subscribers on this channel. But that being said, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!